I have a review for Prince Live on the Big Screen 2019 coming at you now. Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. Follow me on social media at Prince's Friend YT on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So I know that I said I wasn't going to do a separate video for Prince Live on the Big Screen this year, but I've reconsidered because there are additional notes that I really want to make sure that are out there in the public. I want to make sure that this feedback is there so that the show can continue to grow and become better. Now, of course, if you guys remember my review from last year, there were lots of tears, lots of emotions going on, but there was a reason for that. That was exactly the moment where I kind of realized that Prince was gone, and it hit me very hard. It also tainted last year's show to the point where it was very hard for me to enjoy any show that was anywhere kind of like that. But this year, I went into it knowing what to expect, and it was actually a lot of fun. So I wanted to give you guys a detailed rundown of the experience at Prince Live on the Big Screen. So here we go. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so that you're always alerted when we release new videos. And obviously this month in May, we're releasing one video a day. Let's get into the review. So the first thing I want to talk about is the footage itself. We got all the hits: Raspberry Beret, 1999, Purple Rain. We also got Musicology and a couple of songs that you don't normally hear live, like Extraordinary and the slow down version of Little Red Corvette, which is my version now. I love that version. But going from last year to this year, it actually feels pretty much the same now. But talking with some other friends, I found out that even if some of the songs were the same, they used different footage from that same tour in order to give a slightly different show, even if the songs were similar. And I dig that. I like that it was at least a slightly different experience. Obviously, part of Live on the Big Screen is the band playing with Prince on stage. And the band flown in to perform was amazing for this show. Kat Dyson shredded the guitar, Ida Nielsen was on the bass keeping the band steady, and Renato Nito got more than a couple of solos during the show. Shelby J and Kip Blackshire also acted as the vocalist, background vocals, and a lead on a couple of songs, and they tore the house down. They did an amazing job with the show. I noticed though this year that there was less focus on the band that was on the stage and more focus on Prince on the big screen. Obviously that's the name of the concert, but I felt that it was a little odd that we weren't paying as much homage to the people who were actually there performing the songs versus the image of this man who we all love, but is actually no longer with us. The good part of it, however, is that the change of focus actually made it seem less like they were trying to trick us into thinking Prince was there, as was my major complaint last year. This year, it honestly seemed like we were all watching the same footage of a concert, and it was a multi-thousand person sing-along. And that made it extra enjoyable for me, because I was able to divorce any actual emotions that I had about Prince being gone and all of these different things, and I could really just let loose and enjoy myself. There were lots of people dancing, lots of partying, everyone was having an amazing time, just as they should be. And the last thing that I really want to touch on is the difference in venue from last year to this year. This year's show was at the Armory, which actually was a really good place, to be honest. All of the seating is floor level, so the seats get slightly worse as you move further back. But that's if you're paying attention to the people who are on the stage. And as I said, that's not really the point of this show. So everybody gets a really good view of the big screen with Prince on it, so there's actually not a bad seat in the place for an event like this. the good part. On the other hand, there was one other thing that I didn't like about the Armory, and that's that there were way more drunk people at the Armory show. Let me explain. Last year at the Target Center, in order to get a drink, you had to leave your seat, go up a flight of stairs, find a concession stand, stand in line, buy your drink, and find your way back to your seat. This year, if you've ever been to the Armory, the entire left side of the venue is a bar. And guess what the entire right side is? Exactly, a bar. Pretty much, anytime you wanted a drink, you could get one. I feel like that might have enabled a few of us Prince friends who were there in the crowd, and there were just a remarkable number of drunk people at the show. It wasn't enough to ruin my time, but I did have to switch seats 2 times to avoid a bunch of the drunk people who were dancing too wildly and bumping into each other. I really just wanted to not be involved with any of that. So on the whole, it was a hard decision for me of whether to go back and watch Prince live on the big screen again. I did have an emotional reaction to it last year, and I wasn't sure that I wasn't going to have that again this year. But I also felt like going back, and this show specifically, was worthwhile and was a really good time. I feel like this year was better than last year, and not just because of my own personal feelings. I feel like they tightened up the show and they refocused it to make it a little bit more fun and less sad and nostalgic. And I hope that going forward, if they continue to do this show every year, that they grow and they improve it so that it continues to be more and more fun. I met a lot of people at the show this year and had a grand time with all the Prince friends. And the concert really cemented the idea that this year at Celebration 2019 was about us friends connecting to each other. So hopefully you liked my review of Prince live on the big screen. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Hit notification bell so that you're always alerted whenever we put out a new video. Follow me on social media at PrincessFriendYT on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And check out the Patreon, where you can support the channel for as little as $2 a month. That's at patreon.com/princessfriend. Our patrons are a big help when it comes to supporting the channel and really growing and being able to do a video a day in May. But other than that, until next time, may you live to see the dawn. Mwah! Love you all.